Hi everybody, my name is Shane.
My name's Karen.
Welcome to Leaf Chat.
Today we talk about what it's like driving an EV around for the past 3 months.
Welcome to EV for me. We have been driving Yuki, the 62 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf, for the last 3 months around town. It's been a bit of a steep learning curve.
It's been a leap. We made the leap of faith about a year ago to decide to transition from an internal combustion engine vehicle to a pure electric vehicle.
Yeah, our last vehicle was a 1998 Ford Falcon, and it was it wasn't in the best shape. So we've actually gone from something really old to something really new. So that was a big change for us. We decided to import Yuki, the 62 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf, from Japan this time last year because Nissan Australia had no idea when the long range Leaf was coming to Australia back then, and even today they're saying it's going to come to Australia, in the first half of 2021. So so that's basically why we decided to import this time last year.
So we signed up with an auction broker, Prestige Motorsport. They guide you through the import process.
Yeah, and it's fairly easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. But it was a very scary process. You got to remember, this time last year we were doing this for the very first time. Switching to an electric vehicle. We didn't know anyone with an electric vehicle, but we had test driven one over in New Zealand.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that was a bit of a start. We had never imported before, so we had no idea what we were doing. But in Australia about a year ago, there was no real financial incentive to go out and buy an EV. There's no major federal government rebates. There was no stamp duty concession. There's only stamp duty concession on new EVs, but not on the second-hand ones, so we had to pay stamp duty. So we basically had to pay for everything out of our own pocket. But there was
We got a slight discount on the rego.
Yeah, we got a slight discount on the rego, so a couple of $100. So that, a couple of hundred's better than nothing. So, it was a very strange thing for, people to be buying an EV this time last year. And we copped a lot of criticism for it as well. People thought we were quite mad. But no, we're a lot better off today for actually going through that process of buying an electric vehicle. But there still is a bit of a disadvantage here in Australia. We still don't have a lot of charging stations at the moment, but it's slowly improving over time. Yuki, the EV, absolutely gets a flogging. During the week, we travel between, 300 and 450 Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
depending on what we do for the week.
Yeah, you visit all your clients and stuff like that. And basically, the initial idea was to make this our second car, but it's now our primary car. It absolutely does everything. And the old X-Trail is now our second car.
It's in the carport, in the driveway.
Yeah, and we hardly use it whatsoever. Yuki, the EV, roughly gets plugged in every 5 days. I come home from work, I plug it in, and it charges overnight. And
it's ready for me the next morning.
So, it works out quite fine for us. We're happy with that. And we haven't missed a charge yet, have we?
No, haven't got caught stranded.
Yeah, it's just a new routine you've got to get into, but it's not too overly hard at all. But talking about charging, we're here at IKEA in Canberra, and we're about to plug in with our Many-Keys cable and walk across to Costco, and we'll do
some shopping.
Yeah, so come along with us. Chuck it in. Party time. Cat biscuits. Yummo. Hopefully there's some more food around. Yummy.
There's 2 waffles.
What are these?
It's 2 waffles.
Oh, okay. Can I try one? Cool. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Lovely. What's that? More food. Off we go. The best things are at the back of the store.
Go for
What-
it.
what's
Hello. So we have some crackers. Sopeta and dairy.
We got a pack.
Go for it.
Yay, we're charged up to 92%. We've just finished at Costco and we've got a quick top-up charge at IKEA. And when we're travelling on the highway, we travel along to the fast chargers and we get a quick charge there, but they're only single charges at the moment. So if you hit a fast charger that's dead, you have to try and find another charger close by. You need a bit of a plan B. In other countries around the world, they've got a lot more chargers in Australia, and they literally have banks of chargers. We're talking like, 6,
12 in a row.
12 in a row, a dozen of them. And if one of those chargers aren't working or whatever, you can just go across to the next one. So Australia is well behind in its fast chargers. But no, look, hopefully in the near future that will improve over time. So the range of Yuki, the 62 kilowatt hour long range Leaf, is around 320 kilometers on the highway, and that's going from 100% down to 10%, because once you hit that 10% mark, you really should be looking for a charger. And in arduous conditions, it's around 260 to 270 kilometers. Would you say that's about right, Kaz?
Yeah, it would be about right.
If it's a really cold day, or if it's a really hot day, if you're heading into a headwind, you'll see on the brochure the WTLP and the EPA figures of 370, 385 kilometers. And yes, those ranges can be reached. That's not a problem, as long as you have a straight road with no corners, no hills. You don't stop for anything. Yes, you can get those distances. But here in Australia, we have corners on roads, we have hills. The kids may want to go out and get an ice cream. The dog may want to jump out of the car and do a bit of a wee, so you've got to stop and start for that. These are the real world figures. That 320 kilometers on the highway, and that 260 to 270 kilometers in arduous conditions. And Kaz, basically before we had the EV or Yuki EV, how much were you spending per week on petrol?
Between $50 and $60 a week.
Yeah, so $50 to $60 a week, and currently we pay for electricity roughly between $12 and $14 per week, just to give Yuki the EV that top-up charge every 5 days. So our fuel costs of we're only paying a quarter of what we used to pay before we went to an electric vehicle. Other costs we've had over the last 3 months, we've spent $260 on 2 new tyres, hun.
Yep.
So yeah, that's par for the course, and we just got standard tyres, not the low noise ones. We didn't want to pay that extra premium. We haven't had the car serviced yet, so that'll probably be in the near future. And you got to remember, electric vehicles have 90% less moving parts when compared to their internal combustion engine cousins. So there's a lot less that can go wrong with an electric vehicle, so that they're fairly well reliable. In the beginning, when you first get an electric vehicle, you kind of start off with short trips, and then you kind of build it up to longer and longer trips, just to kind of
Build up your confidence in getting to know the car.
Yeah, build up your confidence. Yeah, get to know the car. And it really helped us to establish the range and things of that nature, didn't it, hun?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Also, another point is all electric vehicles are deadly silent. You cannot hear them coming. So Yuki the EV simulates a kind of a whirring or a whining sound at low speed, so pedestrians are aware. But you know, you still get people that just walk out in front of you, so you're constantly just hitting the horn just to make them aware.
You just got to be extra vigilant when driving around car parks, especially.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and they look at you cross-eyed, wondering why you hit the horn. It's better to have them look at you cross-eyed rather than have hit them with the electric vehicle. Overall, we're happy with the path we went down. And look, electric vehicles, it's not for everybody, but you will get people that'll just bag you out or criticise. Yeah, just ignore them.
The importing process was quite easy. So easy, we'd probably do it again next year.
Yeah, we'll probably do it again next year. See what happens halfway through 2021.
Yeah.
Probably get another EV, and just see what happens from there.
If you want to follow our adventures, go to our Twitter page, EV4Me2. Check it out.
Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell when one of our new adventures comes up. And we'll see you next time.
The red light was stopped. It's recording again now.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.